Before we get started in this video, I've got a couple things that I want to go over. First of all, I want to thank you guys so much for the love that I got on my papermaking video. I have no idea what happened with that video because it was just hovering around like 9 views, and then at 5 a.m. the morning before I was going to upload my next video, it just started skyrocketing, and now it's at like over 1,000 views, and I was super excited, and I didn't mention it in my last video because by the time that I saw that the view count was going up so rapidly, I had already filmed and edited the video and I was in the process of uploading it. But oh my god, like, that's amazing. Thank you guys so much. I also wanted to share that I'm now fully vaccinated. On Friday the 11th, I got my second dose, and so I'm recording this on Friday the 18th, so next week I'll be able to go out fully into the world without a mask. And I just want to mention that and encourage people to go out and get their vaccines if you haven't yet. I know that I personally was a little bit late to get fully vaccinated because of personal reasons, but I finally have it done and I couldn't be happier about it. But yeah, let's talk about like the stars and stuff. So personally, I don't think astrology is like a science. I think it's more of something fun and interesting to like look at in my free time. And like, the two things that I will say is that I have found that A, a lot of the stuff that I've read about astrology seems to line up with the reality, and B, the fact that I've read that stuff about astrology probably is why I see those traits in people who have those signs. It's all about what you expect to see. I'm aware of that. So yeah, the TLDR on my opinion is that astrology is cool, but probably not 100% fact-based, if fact-based at all. It is something interesting and fun to read about. So why do people have such strong opinions on astrology? And by the way, this goes at both ends of the spectrum, and I'm going to talk about that. So I want to start by talking about the people who like detest astrology, because there is such a large group of people out there like that. People who are like, astrology is so fake and dumb, and why do you even talk about it? And if you like know your sign, then don't even talk to me. And there's a couple reasons why this is weird, but let me just start with the first one, it being, calm down. Like, I'm sorry that Ashley on Twitter put the fact that she's a Scorpio in her bio, but like, I don't know why you're so upset. And I'm not talking about the people who make memes like, oh my god, people are always like, oh my god, sorry I crashed my car, I'm such a Capricorn, because like, memes are one I'm talking about the people who like have serious strong opinions on people who like and or believe in astrology. It also feels weird and like possibly rude to get worked up over people's personal like interests, you know what I mean? And I'm not the PC police. Like you can make jokes and believe or not believe whatever you want, but like, astrology and religion are like basically the same thing. You believe in things not because there's any scientific basis, but just because of faith and belief, and there's nothing wrong with either of them, and you can make jokes on either of them, but like, I think that you should be allowed to make jokes about religion. But the only thing that I will say before getting too political than I like to go is that if you clown on people and like genuinely attack people for liking astrology, and then get offended when someone makes fun of Jesus. This is getting too political. Stop being weird. That's... So talking about the people who believe in, like, the sanctity of zodiacs. The way that you've probably seen astrology being presented, like a lot of people have, has probably been over social media, which is like what your sign says about you, or what blank you are based on your sign, or how the signs would react in blank, or, you know, just... You know. And there are some people who get really mad because that's oversimplifying zodiacs. And like, yeah, it is, but also, okay. The reason that some people get mad is because if you aren't into zodiac signs, let me briefly explain this as quickly as I can, what you think of as your zodiac sign isn't your only zodiac sign, it's your sun sign. You actually have an entire chart based on not only your date of birth, but also where you were born, what time you were born. This all determines where the different planets and stuff were in the sky. The one that's used most often is, again, your sun sign, partially because the only thing you need to know to figure out your sun sign is your date of birth. So people get mad and they're like, oh, you can't boil down people to just their sun signs. They've got this whole chart that comes into play. And like, let me tell you something about people. If something is complex, people will simplify it. And if something can be simplified into something that can be shared over texts, they will do that. You want to know what else people do this to? Science. People talk all the time about how like the news takes these broad, complicated scientific articles and like condenses it into one sentence that starts with like a study showed that. Because people don't like looking into the little details or finding some linking things. No, they want things that can be simplified into single sentences that they can tell to their friends over dinner. And they're like, you can't just put people into boxes based on their zodiac signs. You can't put anything into boxes. Have you ever seen scientists try to classify stuff? None of it makes sense because the earth was not meant to be classified. We're all just doing our best. So I'm sorry that people on Instagram simplified astrology into single zodiac signs that you can just put in your bio to represent your personality. Probably the same reason why when people ask you to describe yourself, you'll say, oh, I'm a social and empathetic person, instead of, like writing an essay, because I promise you that there's more to you than being social and empathetic. Because sometimes having a zodiac sign in a Hogwarts house is easier than having a personality. I think I should probably go to therapy. Anyways, in conclusion, can everybody please calm down? If you believe in zodiacs, cool. If you don't, cool. If people keep fighting about it on Twitter, I swear to God I'm gonna call the police. Thank you so much for watching, bye!